My name is John Cockrell, and I just completed the Medical Billing and Coding course at IBMC. I am what's known in the post-secondary education world as a non-traditional student, in that I didn't attend higher education directly after high school. Although ask anyone who knows me, and they'll likely say, oh yeah, John's non-traditional, all right. It's been an interesting 2-year journey, one fraught with fear, resignation, fortitude, exhaustion, elation, and now accomplishment. There are more and more people like me these days in the middle of our lives, finding that mostly due to the economy. The place we once occupied in the workforce is unstable, diminished, or vanished altogether. For the past 20-odd years, I was in the graphics world. I held positions as a technical illustrator, graphic designer, flash animator, and video producer. I had solid skills, but no degree. As the youngest of 5 kids and a single-wage earner, lower middle class, small Midwestern town family, whose parents grew up in an era where you could get a job after high school and work there till you died, college wasn't a realistically viable option for me. Still, I made a fairly decent living that allowed me to raise my 3 kids to adulthood with fairly little hardship. But when there are on average 300 applicants for a single design position who have degrees in an already saturated graphic market, I just couldn't compete, no matter how good looking I am. So analyzing the job market, it seemed apparent that one of the highest, or possibly even the only, growing job market these days was healthcare. I looked into a few of the institutions around northern Colorado, and it seemed that IBMC had some of the programs that were most compatible for me. It was a 2-year program, which was going to be the maximum amount of time I wanted to put my loving and patient wife through to support us financially. And I had a class that didn't involve needles, of which I was scared. Seriously, I have a plate and 7 screws in my leg from passing out from a flu shot 2 hours after I got it. True story. Ironically, I overcame much of that phobia while at IBMC, and even volunteered both arms for blood drawing practice from the MAs. 3 years without a full-time job will cure you of any view that you can easily get another one without obtaining further credentials. Regardless, it did take me many years to get the guts to go to school again and walk in IBMC's door. I knew most students would be substantially younger than me. Would I feel out of place? Would they make fun of me? Call me grandpa? Point at me? Well, I discovered very quickly that most of those fears were simply unfounded, and some were even shared by my fellow students. The entire experience of returning to school has been rewarding, interesting, and frankly, surprisingly fun. That's not to say it wasn't challenging, keyboarding, demanding, inanimate, or sometimes baffling, counting. But with perseverance and the help and support of the teaching staff and my fellow students, we stand here before you. Qualities of instructors, such as the supportive mentorship of Tatsu Matsushita, the accumulated experience of Cami Stutzman, and the buoyant effervescence of Susan Selby, along with the camaraderie and friendship of my co-students like Stephanie, Kelly, Myra, Cynthia, Stacy, Wanda, Connie, and many, many more, have made this a truly positive experience for me. It wouldn't have been without them. I'd like to also again thank my lovely wife, who has been supportive in countless ways. Love you, babe. My family and friends outside of the school, and a special shout out to my aunt and uncle who couldn't be here tonight, but who 29 years ago asked me if I wanted to come out to Colorado for a week. In closing, I'd like to share a quote from a painter and author of the 17th century, James Northcote, who said, "Half the things that people do not succeed in are from fear of making the attempt." I fully adhere to that statement. I was a living example. I suggest to you, don't be. Attempt it. Do it. Succeed. Thank you.